So I want to thank you so much for joining me here at BlockShow in North America. And if you don't mind, please tell our viewing audience you and your company what you do.
Yeah, my name is Hartej Singh. I'm the co-founder of Hosho.io. Hosho, the word itself, means security in Japanese. We are a cybersecurity company at the intersection of cybersecurity and the blockchain industry.
Okay.
We focus on auditing smart contracts. We do penetration testing. We work with a large number of ICOs and exchanges, and we're building out a lot of other security solutions on the intersection of cybersecurity and blockchain.
So you work with a lot of ICOs and exchanges and their security. Explain to me a little bit more, how do you work with large exchanges?
Yeah, so when it comes to exchanges, an exchange at the end of the day is code that gets edited every single day. And they have to edit this code, and every time code gets edited, you've opened yourself up to security vulnerabilities. Right. And someone out there is trying to hack exchanges all the time because they have a lot of money. And so we work essentially as what's called white hat hackers to hack into exchanges for them and to conduct penetration testing. So that's a big part of our job. And when it comes to ICOs, when an exchange lists a cryptocurrency, the exchange makes sure that the ICO got their smart contract audited by a professional, and that they can review the audit report. So that's what we do essentially, is we'll work with each company writing a smart contract and make sure that we audited the code thoroughly to find any security vulnerabilities, any centralized functions, any backdoors, loopholes, and make sure that that code has been sealed with a cryptographic seal, and that we publish a really sophisticated report that can be read and reviewed by investors, governments, exchanges.
Now, are you seeking, as an organization, are you seeking any type of accolades that would lend itself to giving you more credibility in that world?
More and more audits. So the more code that we see, the more that we find vulnerabilities that we can build automated tooling around. So every time we find a vulnerability in code, when we do like what's called a static analysis, next time finding that same vulnerability will be faster and faster and faster. And so over time, our goal is to build our automated tooling to be faster and faster, so that what we predict in the next 2 to 3 years, more Fortune 500 companies will be actually writing big smart contracts with millions of dollars flowing through them every single day, where the security of them will have to it'll matter so much more. Today you have smaller ICOs, and we just want to see all the deal flow. We want to make sure that we have a strong brand recognized globally. We've already really build a strong presence in North America and Europe, and now for the next 12 months we're focused on Asia quite a bit.
So get back to your automated platform versus, and correct me if I'm wrong, there'll be a standard automated sense of what you've worked on, what you've fine-tuned, right? And you will update, I guess, the flow accordingly, and then there will be a more hands-on approach.
So we leverage a mix of automated tooling and manual tooling. So we're definitely going to keep building up our automated tools that go through code and find vulnerabilities on its own. But at the end of the day, you can't replace the manual part, which we pride ourselves on, which is 3 to 4 cybersecurity experts reading the white paper or whatever the source of truth is, and marrying it to the code line by line. And manually going line by line and saying, does this smart contract do what the white paper says it's supposed to do?
As I understand, you've caught 100% of the time in vulnerabilities. 100% of the time you've caught some sort of vulnerability. That's a great, superb record.
Yeah, so the way it works in cybersecurity is your reputation is everything. And legally, it doesn't matter if we have liability. We don't legally. But if we mess up and a company loses a couple $100,000 or even $1 or $1 million,
that's enough to destroy your reputation.
We can be in a bad position.
Absolutely.
So this is kind of why we keep our backbone strong and look at companies, hand them an invoice and say, this is what it costs for us to spend the time to secure this and put our entire company's name and reputation on the line. We've audited more smart contracts than anyone else in the space, and we took the route of not doing an ICO ourselves. That's been a big differentiator.
Absolutely.
There's other companies in the space that have chosen to enter this space of auditing smart contracts, but they came up with the reason themselves to have a token, and they wanted to take advantage of this fundraising mechanism.
So you're in the blockchain crypto space, to verify everyone, you're not on blockchain yourself,
Nope.
and you do not have a crypto or an ICO yourself.
No.
You're in a very good place, my
We're
friend.
selling shovels.
This-
We're in the shovels business.
You are right. You are absolutely in the shovel. Wow, I like that. You know, in the gold rush, that's exactly where you want to be.
That's right.
In the water business, in the shovel business.
That's right. Well, our game is to stay standing by the
Okay.
time the Fortune 500 come, because a lot of these ICOs today that we're seeing come to most conferences aren't going to stay standing. It'll be just like the internet.
What are you seeing as a percentage of companies flowing through you that you can put a successful check next to their company? All right? In your own right, you see 1,000 companies come through you. Code, good, bad, or indifferent.
Let's just say that most of them are way too early to matter. And I would say the majority of them won't be standing.
You found
Sadly.
that? Tell me about a company that you've seen, not that you've dealt with, in the ISO blockchain world that surprised you, that absolutely surprised you with their success.
I'll say this, that whenever we've worked with the gaming project in the gaming space,
Okay.
there's always been a more today use case where today you can use a smart contract within this game to do something.
Right. Well, they're the masters of tokenizing systems.
Correct.
And it's hey, buddy.
This is my dog Chauncey.
Hi. You want to say hi to everyone?
So yeah, I just did 10 countries in 80 days.
With
Not with her.
oh, so that would have been awesome.
And so it was hard to be away from her, and so now you can see
How
what
long have
happens.
you had her?
I've had her for 3 years.
Wow,
I
fantastic.
adopted her right here in Vegas.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah.
you. Now let's talk about the Vegas market. Are you seeing any sectors of the now? Arguably, Vegas is the master at tokenizing fiat.
Maybe. It's too federally regulated.
Well, we'll talk about that off the camera. So, where do you see in your own home, right over here, the need to apply blockchain or crypto? Or do you even see that need?
I think crypto is very, very global game. It's
Okay.
about thinking very global. I think right now I'm personally not super interested in localizing my thought processes on blockchain, at least in the first worlds. You know, the only time right now I want to hear about a localized blockchain implementation that's more intriguing is a place that has less barrier to entry, where there's more people that don't have a bank account.
In emerging, yeah, right.
Emerging
okay.
markets.
Right, right. Okay.
Vegas is a special place for the United States of America to do business, period.
Absolutely.
And now in crypto, the majority of our business is just scattered all around the world, in between Asia and Europe and South America mainly. And North America, we just naturally understand, and it's mostly in between San Francisco, New York, LA, Chicago, DC, Miami,
Right, yes.
Boston, like
Right,
cities. But all of those cities are really expensive compared to Vegas. And Vegas is 0% state tax, and it has an international airport, and it's a really easy place to host people who like to gamble and be in casinos, such as people from the Middle East and Asians.
Okay.
Those are two massive markets that love coming to casinos.
Right, right.
And in crypto, we're basically looking at it as, when we're in America, where are we going to be?
All right.
And out of between the tax-free states that are no state tax, whether it's Nevada, Delaware,
right.
Wyoming, Florida, I live in Vegas all day.
Okay.
And
It's much more of an attraction all around, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
if you had to leave the blockchain and crypto world with a few key points of advice on security and moving forward as of today, what would you tell them?
I would say learn how to buy your Bitcoin and buy multiple different cryptocurrencies, and learn how to securely store them. Buy a physical hardware wallet such as Trezor or Ledger,
Okay.
and store your crypto as your first step into even understanding what this is about. And number two to that, I would say, is spend the time to read the Bitcoin white paper by Satoshi Nakamoto, and to read basic books that have come out, such as The Business of the Blockchain by William Ogire,
Okay.
anything written by Nick Szabo, all of his essays, everything written by Andreas Antonopoulos.
Okay.
Watch things on YouTube, and I think there's so much information that's high quality out there that was not available when we first heard about Bitcoin. We would go to meetups and try to ask people for information. That now I'm almost jealous of the people that are trying to enter the space, and it's pretty easy to filter through the nonsense that's out there. And I would say don't focus on price, focus on the technology, focus on building and solving real problems that are literally only solvable through decentralization.
Okay. And what are those areas that you think a few of those areas are in the world of decentralization that can only be solved there?
There's a large list of them, but I think that the ones that touch the heart the most, that I really want to see be solved, have to do with the realms of healthcare, helping the unbanked.
Absolutely.
And a lot of both of those end up helping women globally, many of whom are in tough situations, in economies where there's unbanked. Those statistically are often women whose husbands are taking what money the family earns and spending it on gambling or drugs. And Bitcoin is an enabler, crypto is an enabler, where women can be more enabled. And so those are the types of things where I feel like
I feel like
about impacting 1 billion people realistically.
Right. I feel like it's a great time in, I would say, fintech, blockchain, crypto, in that world, and women to really take the reins. And I see a lot of them, a lot of women really taking the reins, and it's refreshing. It comes from a different mindset and view. And
what I will say about women in crypto, real quick though, is that it's about the women in crypto that don't bring it up. You don't need to be a hashtag woman in crypto to be a woman in crypto. Like a good friend of mine, Elena Varanova, is the founder of the Trezor wallet, the #1 most used wallet in the world. She was the co-founder of Satoshi Labs. You'll never catch her
hashtag crypto women.
Hashtag crypto and women. I mean, I don't want to be sat on a panel just because other people have a turban. I don't want to be turbans in crypto. I don't want to be divided by my religion, my gender, my race. None of it. I think Bitcoin's whole thing is about us being stateless, religionless. It's about if anything, if any church is a church of Satoshi.
I hear you. And on that note, I thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for sitting down.
Oh man.
All right, brother.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.